channel. This video is for grade 3 from the book of Oxford Reading Comprehension and Grammar. First of all, we are going to discuss about fiction. What is fiction? Fiction is a fantasy. It does not exist in real world. It is an imaginary world, imaginary story and imaginary state. Moving towards in unit number 3, first of all, we will discuss few fiction stories like fantasized stories. Our first fiction story is The Laziest Man in the Village. The main character of this story is Rip Van Winkle. This story revolves around Rip Van Winkle. Rip is a farmer. He is a social person. He is a philanthropist. There are 3 questions related to this story. First question is, what is the location of the setting? And the answer is beside the Hudson River. Second question, how is the setting described? Answer is with the beauty of the nature. Third question is, how is the main character introduced? By his profession and name. His profession is farmer and his name is Rip Van Winkle. Moving towards our next page, which is about some other questions related to the story. Who is the main character of the story? Obviously, Rip Van Winkle. What does this extract tell you about Rip? Answer, Rip is a farmer living with his family. Why didn't Mrs. Van Winkle like Rip? According to her, he was a lazy man. Question number 4, what do you think about the story will be about? Actually, this question you should do by yourself, my dear students. After reading the chapter, you will have to do by it yourself. Moving towards, there are few paragraphs about Rip Van Winkle, and our first question is, what details are given about the character? What more details are given about the character? Rip was a farmer. He is a philanthropist, social worker, and there is one point, he is not up to for his family. He just do for social circle. He just do for other people. So the answer is, he is lazy in doing his own work, but he helps others. Second question is, what more information is given about the character? The very interesting information is, he also had a pet dog like his best friend. We are going towards our next page. That page includes answer questions, setting in details, and nouns and adjectives. And now we are going to discuss more questions related to the laziest man in the village. There are 6 questions you have to do by yourself, but I write the answer of first 4 questions in next page, and the question number E and F you have to do by yourself after reading the story. And now I am going to show you the answers of first 4 questions. First answer is, he lived in a village at the bottom of Catskill Mountains. Answer number B, he was a cheerful person. He also helped people and made toys for kids, but he was not up to for his own kids. Answer number C, she thinks, like Mrs. Rip thinks, that he is a lazy man and never grow anything on his own farm. Question number D, and the answer is, never grow anything on his farm. His building fell down. His children never had new clothes. Now moving towards the next category, that is about nouns and adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives are the qualities of noun. We extracted few nouns from our story like Rip Van Winkle, village, rip, dog, farmer, river, children, women and building. For example, Rip Van Winkle is a noun and its adjective is lazy. You can change that adjective. You can add dull, you can add any kind of adjective after reading the story. Adjective can be vary. Next page is about some other extracts and what is the purpose of these stories? The purpose of these stories is to enhance your vocabulary, is to enhance your reading capability. Our next paragraph is also extracted from Rip Van Winkle. This paragraph you have to read by yourself and solve the following exercise. Select the words or phrases used to describe the following nouns. I repeat, I am going to use the phrases from the story. Post. A tall post with a wooden sign. B. Sign. With a picture of King George. Innkeeper. Was as lazy as Rip. In a cheerful place. For doing this, you have to read the above paragraph. Question number 5. Explain how the author make the inn sounds like a popular place. You can do it by yourself after reading the paragraph, but for your easiness, I have written few lines. These are: it was a cheerful place for villagers as well as for the travelers. There was a place to sit under the shade. People spent all there and talked and cheered themselves. Now, moving towards our next page, that is about settings and characters. We have discussed about the laziest man in the village, like Rip Van Winkle was the character. Now we are going to discuss the land of the Munchkins. Now our next page is, on our next page there is a story, very interesting story, and this story consists two characters, Dorothy and Munchkin. There was a story when Dorothy was sitting in his home and she saw that there were few strangers outside her home. She came out and she asked for what they are for. Then they said that they were there to thank her. Why? Because Dorothy killed the wicked witch. On the basis of this story, there is an exercise which we will discuss forward. Now, this is page number 28, my students. This paragraph is for your reading capability and for vocabulary. Next page is about the exercise which belongs to the Dorothy's paragraph. We will discuss speech marks. Before discussing the speech marks, I am going to show you the exercise, then we will move forward to our speech marks. This is about the Munchkins and Strange Man. Characteristics are: what are the appearances of Munchkins? Munchkins were short in height and they were wearing a blue clothes as the picture shown in your story. And the Strange Man, their appearance were old, not tall, and their clothes, blue dress, hats on head. And the very interesting points for you all, that Munchkins and Strange Men are the same character. When you will read story, you will know that these are the same characters. Now moving toward this speech mark, that is very important topic for this video, that where speech mark exist. There are two kind of speeches, reported speech and reporting speech. We put our speech marks on our reported speech. For example, there is an exercise. Do you like cats? We put opening inverted commas and then after the question mark we put closing inverted commas. We put inverted commas on reported speech. Moving towards opening inverted commas, and after the exclamation mark, closing inverted commas. Then you can borrow my book, opening inverted commas, after this comma, closing inverted commas. So you have to focus on that closing inverted commas would be after exclamation mark, question mark, or any kind of sign, and that would be on reported speech. We will do this kind of punctuation or speech marks for all the exercises. And now this is all for today. If you feel any kind of difficulty in this video or in any video related to English subject or any kind of subject, you can ask question by throwing a comment. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel and share this video with your class fellows for further information. Thank you.